What if right now I put $5,000 in the bank for my 8-year-old daughter? Okay? What if I did that? 5K in the bank. Right? And let's say I plan on earning about 4.5% interest on this. All right? And I plan on giving this money to her when she starts college. So she's 8 years old right now. So maybe in about 10, 11 years, right? How much will I have? If I just put that 5,000 now and don't touch it. So that would be, and let's assume the continuous compounding. The continuous, that would be that last case. I would have A equals PERT, right? Bless you. P would be 5,000, that's what I start with, right? E to the what? R is 0.045, and then time, here we go, 10 years. So you're going to multiply this times this. So this is going to be 5,000 e to the 0.45. That just moved the decimal over once. And then you get on your calculator. And then you multiply that. So 5,000 times 1.5683, something like that. So I'm just trying to get a ballpark idea here. It would be 7,841. Not so hot, right? Why is that not so hot? Because in 10 years, think about right now, you go buy a gallon of milk, what's that going to cost in 10 years? Right? Everything tends to go up, right? Inflation, prices for everything goes up. So $5,000 today will buy you a certain amount of stuff, but in 10 years, will $7,800 get you that much more? No, probably not, right? So it's tricky. What you have to do for something like this, what you have to be doing is putting money in every month. And so it's growing. See, this is assuming we're not putting anything else in. It's 5,000 one time, we don't touch it again. Now, if you're willing to, if you go to the bank, right? Here's our bank again. There's different types of way to loan a bank your money, right? I can give the bank my money. If I put it into a checking account, they don't give me much money back because I can go and grab that money anytime I want, right? But they also have these things called CDs. Have you all ever heard of that before? Don't know what it stands for? Certificate of deposit. What this means is that you go to the bank and you say, hey, I'm going to give you $5,000, but I can't touch it for 2 years. Or you say, I can't touch it for 5 years. Or I can't touch it for 10 years. Or I can't touch it for 20 years. And then the bank says, oh, okay, you're giving me this money and you're guaranteeing me you're not coming back for it. They can loan that out and not worry about it, right? They can not worry about you coming for it. So they will give you a higher interest rate than the standard interest rate. And the longer your CD is guaranteed that you can't touch it, the higher the interest rate. So if you just go, you can find right now a 6-month CD, but the interest rate's really small compared to like a 10-year CD where your interest rate's really high. Let's just look it up. I mean, this is business, right? This is a business class. We can look up CD rates. Today's highest bankrate.com. Okay, here we go. There's some interest rates. Look at these. Look how low these rates are. Ooh. Look, you give them a minimum of $500. You don't touch it for 5 years, and they're going to give you 2.4%. 10 years ago, you could get interest rates higher than that on a checking account. That's money that the bank wouldn't even, you could come for it the next day, and they wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? These rates are so low. It's not good for people wanting to try and make money off their money. Let's see. Oh yeah, get out of here. So up on the top, it's hard to see it, but see that? So look, if you do a 1 year, you're not coming back for it for a year, 1.7. 2 year, 1.85. 3 year, 2.1. See, it's higher the further out you go, the longer you guarantee you're not coming back for it. Look at 18 month, right? I remember when I sold my first house, I sold it and I made a pretty good lump of money on the first home I sold. And then I was moving into a new home and I had like a 6-month period where we were building our house. And this was like 12 years ago, maybe even longer. And I took that money and I put it into an account, of just a basic checking account that was kicking back 4.5%. 4.5% for 6 months. So I made money off that money in just a short period of time. Nowadays, that's just unheard of. You just can't make money like that off your money. Yeah, I don't see anything else here. Okay, we're kind of off topic there. You think you can handle those problems? Or you want to do one that's more like business? Or you think you can handle it? Okay, come on, stop. Get out of there. Okay, I don't even want that at all. There it goes. Let me just see what the book's problems look like, the homework problems. We'll have time to do a little more of this. Oh, you know what? Let's do it the other way around. We're talking about putting money in. Let's borrow some money for a credit card. Let's do that. Okay? So you've got this. I don't know. What would be a decent, like, big size purchase that you would reasonably do at your age? A car on a credit card? Laptop or computer or something like that, maybe? Gaming system, all VR shit, all that stuff, right? Yeah? That seems reasonable. How much for that? I mean, this is a really primo system. You're never sleeping. You're up all night, every day. What do you think? $5,000? Okay. Best Buy? I know, okay, maybe you don't get a gaming system at Best Buy, all right? Best Buy, credit card. We're going to go conservative, 21% interest rate, $5,000.
And so you're paying the 21% on the 5.
Yep. Well, credit card interest rates are crazy. You just saw that if I right now went to a bank and gave them money and guaranteed I wouldn't come back for it, they're only giving me 2.4%. But if you go to a bank and you ask them to borrow $5,000, they're going to charge you 21%, right? And let's just see what that looks like after a year. After 1 year, oh no, let's go even more extreme. This person is not going to pay us back because they're going to be in school. They're not really working that much, you know. Let's go 2 years. Let's go 2 years. After 2 years, how much do you owe? Now, this is actually pretty realistic because nowadays you can actually go to like Best Buy or furniture stores do this a lot, and they tell you no interest for 2 years. No interest for 2 years. What they mean by that is that they're not going to charge you interest for 2 years. And if you pay it off, you pay it off. But if you hit that 2-year mark, they're going to take the entire interest that you didn't pay for 2 years and they're going to just slap it on at that 2-year mark. It's called deferred interest. It's not no interest for 2 years. So let's act like you're this person who bought this $5,000 system on a credit card that was 21%, and they've got this 2 years no interest, and you don't make any payments on it. You're like, okay, 2 years. After 2 years, I'll start paying on it. Let's see how much you're going to owe. All right? So let's assume continuous compounding. I got to put that here. Continuous compounding. All right? So my formula is the shampoo formula, A equals PERT. And that is, what's the amount that we're starting with here? P. 5,000. E to the, what's the interest rate? 0.21, right? 0.21, and then the time? 2 years, right? Okay, so that's 5,000. Would somebody please do oh, never mind, I can do that myself, never mind. 0.42 is what you get when you multiply these two. But somebody tell me what e to the 0.42 is. Ooh. What do you get? 1.52196. Okay. Now go ahead and multiply that times 5,000. And what do you get? $7,609.80 something cents. Okay.
81.
81. Okay. Now remember, I put $5,000 in the bank for my daughter for 10 years, and I was barely at $7,800, right? 10 years. You got this money, you borrowed it for 2 years, right? For 2 years, and you are going to owe $7,600, which means there's $2,600 in interest that you now have to pay back. But that game was badass, right? I mean, those games, I mean, there's no pixelating. It's sweet, right? You're in there, right? You're actually in there. You're bleeding when you got up. You actually got shot. Okay. Anyways, so, I mean, I'm not here to lecture you on credit cards, all right? But you can get yourself into pretty big trouble with credit cards. I had my best friend in college actually had to go bankrupt after college because he had racked up over 30 grand. I think it was $30,000 or $40,000 in credit card debt that he couldn't pay back. So he actually had to file for bankruptcy, and it was a disaster. Go to another country and change your name? Yeah, well, whatever. Because look, banks are more than willing to entice you with something, right? And get you in there, because once you hit that mark, that's it. Now, and here's another thing to keep in mind. If you don't pay this all off right now, at the end, right, then you're going to continue to have interest accumulate on this until you pay it off. So it's going to keep accumulating interest until it's zero. Let me have you sign in. Oh wait, everyone turn in stuff. I'll still have you sign in. So now that I'm kind of at a point in my life where I'm more financially stable and responsible, I love these deals. These deals are awesome because deferred interest means a bank is going to loan me money for free. Now, I will pay it off in the time that they tell me I need to before it hits the deferred deadline. And that's basically like going up to someone saying, hey, can I borrow $5,000? Sure. When do I pay you back? In 2 years. How much do I owe you? $5,000. Because there's enough people that are going to not hit that deadline, that are not going to be responsible, that people like me, that there's, you know what I'm saying? If you're responsible, you can take advantage of this. But if you're irresponsible financially, then it can really come back and bite you. All right. Sign in, and then we'll review on Thursday. You can do your homework, okay, for this section, but I will tell you, you need to omit from the homework, omit the problems 29 31, 33, 35, and 37. You can do everything else that's listed in the assignment for 2.5 except those. All right, y'all have a good day.